everyone, and welcome to TWF Dynamite or Might. I, Michael Cole, with Tony Schiavone and Taz. And first, I just want to say thank you for filling in for me on Monday Night Raw, Michael Cole says. Well, you're welcome. And today on Dynamite or Might, we happen to still be getting over John Cena being heel, Michael Cole said, because he shifted heel not only in WWE, but he also here in the TWF, Michael Cole says. Well, you got that right, Michael. We don't quite know what made John Cena shift heel. We don't know why John Cena gave up on being a baby layer, because he had been a baby layer since the end of 2003 YL to 2025 YL in WWE, and since 2005 YL, I guess, in TWF, which you would think would be a long time. Well, first off, Taz says, I don't really have an answer for why John Cena went heel, or why he chose to go heel. But at the end of the day, I am truly happy that John Cena truly chose to show his true self. That he chose to go heel. Because at the end of the day, he wasn't going to get any more onlook, and he wasn't going to be winning any more matches or winning any more straps if he didn't choose to become heel, Taz says. And this is coming from someone who spent being a heel longer than he wasn't. So in other words, Michael Cole says, you think it was right for John Cena to shift on everyone, whoever onlooked him or looked up to him all those years in WWE and the TWF, Michael Cole says. So that's what you're saying, Tony Schiavone says. You think it's right that John Cena did that. I'm not saying it's right, or I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying he chose to do it. Well, now we're going to go to ring now for our match here on Dynamite or Might. Michael Cole says, and now we got Xia Li here, the TWF 24/7 fighter who has been unbeaten and hasn't lost too many matches here in the toy wrestling gathering. Michael Cole says, you got that right, Tony Schiavone says. At the end of the day, Michael Cole, Xia Li hasn't lost as many matches as you would think she would here in the toy wrestling gathering. I mean, she only lost so many times, but she won more times than she lost. I'll tell you right now, Taz says, I like Xia Li. I like what she does, And somehow, some way, I'm not going to say that it was, I'm not going to say that it was luck or anything that helped her win more times than she lost. But I do think that she's done something great, And I do think that Xia Li, is going to have an open dare for anyone who wants to fight her for the TWF 24/7 winnings. And who those folks are going to be and who's going to take her up on it. All right, Xia Li says. Anyone want to take me up on my dare to be the TWF 24/7 fighter? Anyone who thinks they're bold enough or fearless enough to do it? Anyone who truly thinks that somehow they'll get lucky and then they'll beat me and then they'll still be the TWF and that they'll be the TWF 24/7 fighter. You know, I like to think that no one is bold enough or fearless enough to even stand up. You know, anyone who thinks they're bold enough or fearless enough to even fight me for the TWF 24/7 fight, 24/7 winnings. Hey, Zia Lee, have you forgotten about me? You know, me, King Valkyrie, way back in 2023, YL. When you first came to the toy wrestling gathering, you beat me and took my TWF 24/7 winnings away from me, and you never gave it back. Well, so now I'm going to beat you, and I'll be the TWF 24/7 fighter again, Xylee. Oh, King Valkyrie, Brynhilda, I haven't forgotten about you. And that was the only thing you ever did during the only thing you ever did in your time in the toy wrestling gathering was win the TWF 24/7 winnings. I tell you, this time I'm gonna win. You're not gonna. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna kick your head off, and then I don't have to deal with a Disney Marvel self anymore. You're gonna have to deal with this Disney Marvel self. Alright, hold on here, Xylee. Yeah, King Valkyrie, Brynhilda, whatever you call yourself. You know, yeah, I do know, going way back, you were that Xylee, when she came to the toy wrestling gathering at the end of 2023, YL, beat you and then took the TWF 24/7 winnings. Now, I wasn't the main overseer at the time. Astronema had that rank. She had both of those ranks. So what I'm going to do here today is that I'll make a match between you and Xylee for the TWF 24/7 winnings, and that match will happen now. Well, we could tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing right now, Tony. I'll tell you one thing right now, Michael Cole says, is that Xylee believes that no man or woman can beat her for the TWF 24/7 winnings. This match is for the TWF 24/7 winnings. She is King Valkyrie, and she is the TWF 24/7 fighter, Xylee. Well, first off, Michael Cole says, we all know, Tony Schiavone says, that Xylee is in TNA now, formerly in WWE, but she's still a very good skilled wrestler, and somehow, some way, she has won more matches than she lost. Well, one thing is, Michael Cole said, Xylee has those kicks, those arm strikes, and if King Valkyrie can keep away from them, she's got a good luck of winning. Taz says, how long can King Valkyrie play keep away until one of those arms, one of those feet, one of those legs, or one of those hands strikes her? Oh, like she did there. You know. Oh. See, Taz says, what did I tell you, Taz says. Oh, what did I tell you? Xylee struck down King Valkyrie again, Brunhilde, whatever you want to call her, we don't gotta see that Disney Marvel South ever again, at least for a long time. Taz says, well, Tony Schiavone said King Valkyrie played keep away, but sooner or later Xia Li was going to strike her. Yes, it happened, Michael Cole says. It did happen, and it looks like, ding, 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 the winner of this match, by a knockout, Xia Li. Very rarely do skilled wrestling matches end by a knockout. That is mostly something that happens in skilled boxing matches. But Xia Li could most likely do very well against a skilled wrestler, or a skilled boxer, or a skilled fighter of some kind. Michael Cole says, well, there's no doubt about that, Tony Schiavone said. Xia Li does have the fighting background, so she could do very well against a skilled wrestler, or a skilled fighter, or even a skilled boxer. Tony Schiavone says, well, Taz says, I would like to know what King Valkyrie's game goal is going to be. Because everyone has a game goal until they get struck and knocked down. And then that's the end of their game goal, Taz says. Well, to be earnest with you, Michael Cole says, no one seems to know what that game goal was, or what King Valkyrie was going to do. But sadly, Xia Li ended up getting her, and that was, that was the end of King Valkyrie's match, Michael Cole says. Well, Tony Schiavone said King Valkyrie wanted to play keep away, and I don't know what her game goal was, but she didn't get a seat to do it, Tony Schiavone says, due to Xia Li's skilled fighting background, which offshoots in her skilled wrestling background. And speaking of that, we're going to have Renee Young here now. Stand up. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with King Valkyrie here today on Dynamite or Mike. All right, King Valkyrie, we've seen you in your match against Xia Li. Sorry you did not win the TWF 24/7 winnings back. No, Renee Young, I did not win back the TWF 24/7 winnings back. I wish I did. And Xia Li, she's a hard wrestler, a hard fighter to beat. You can say that you're good at what you do, skilled wrestling, skilled fighting, but I don't think that's going to be good enough. But if Xia Li thinks that I'm going to give up, she can think again. So you are going to keep coming after Xia Li until you win back the TWF 24/7 winnings. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, King Valkyrie says. I'm not going to give up. Not like some men and some women I can name who give up when things don't go their way. I'm not going to. You hear me, you hear me, Xia Li? This is not over between the two of us. Well, that's my talk with King Valkyrie. Oh, shit. I'm going to clean my glasses off now. Gotta spit on them. Get off. Get off. There we go. Well, that's my talk with King Valkyrie. Back to you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Zia Lee here today on Dynamite or Mite. And that's all the time we got it for Dynamite or Mite. I'm Michael Cole with Tony Schiavone and Taz. We hope you like Dynamite or Mite, and we'll see you tomorrow for Impact or Hit.